Hey guys, good afternoon. Everybody doing all right? Okay, good. This is the type of participation I want to have today. I'm going to ask a few questions. You might raise your hands, you might do a little dance, but just participate along with me, okay? I want to make it fun and interactive. So let me start with the question here. Raise your hands. Who's done a do-it-yourself project? Show of hands. I know someone who isn't raising her hand, and that's my wife. I'm seeing you. All right. So show of hands. Who's put up, let's say, just a picture frame on the wall? Raise your hands. Okay, good. Who's built an IKEA closet? See, everybody's hands goes shooting up. All right. Let's take another step forward. With do-it-yourself projects, did anybody change their floor? Maybe resurface it, put new laminates? Okay. All right. Let's take it to another level. Anyone redo their bathroom? Oh, okay. So these are the all-stars here, guys. Anybody redo their kitchen? Now that's a really big step. That's a big project. No, there's a few people here. All right, you're superstars. So my name is Ivan Felipe Ortega Trejo, and I love do-it-yourself projects. I really, really enjoy them. Ever since I was a little kid, a 5 or 6 year old, playing with Legos, right? To the point now where I've done everything that we just mentioned, so including building and wrecking a few kitchens. And I want to tap into this time, right? So all of us have done do-it-yourself projects before. So how did it make you feel? Who knew everything immediately in the beginning? What to do during your do-it-yourself project? Did anyone know? No, there's no hands up. Audience around the world, no one's hands went up. So were people confused? Were people injured? Participation, guys, come on, hands up. Were people injured? I was. I stepped on a nail. I still got the scars to prove it. I'll show it later. Okay, so there's trials and tribulations sometimes when you engage in things that you're not familiar with, right? Like do-it-yourself projects. So at the end, there is the sense of what would you call it? Once you finally finish your do-it-yourself project, how do you feel? Accomplished. Perfect word. But if you're anything like me, I banged my head against the floor quite a few times trying to get things done. So when I'm done, I'm ready to high-five people. I'm ready to give high tens to people. I'm ecstatic. I'm enraged sometimes with passion and emotion and accomplishments. Why? Because that's hard sometimes. You go into some really low parts, and sometimes you drop it and you come back the next day. It's tough sometimes, right, guys? So this type of feeling of accomplishment is what I want to tap into today. Going through trials and tribulations, and then get into a solution, right? So recently, I started to do some research. I started to look at things that were, sorry, this way? I'm hearing a bonk. Is that the right one? Okay, going the right way. Thank you. So as a do-it-yourselfer, there's always things that you want to do. I want to take it to the next level. I might have started with the picture frame, ended with the kitchen, but I want to take it to the next level, guys. And one of the things that I want to do is try to save our world. I want to try to save our world. There's a huge concern that I have, not just because I'm a father or a partner or a son. There's global warming, there's climate change, there's a lot of things that are very serious in our world right now. And I've asked myself, if I ever had a conversation with Mahatma Gandhi, he would ask me, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. What can I do as a do-it-yourselfer? What can I do as an individual? So this inspiration, this connection really inspired me to do a lot of research. And this research took me to many different places. It showed me let's say the field or the population of people who consider themselves off-gridders, people who live off the grid. No energy, no superpower plants, no coal mines next to them, they're living independently. It took me to reading books and reading about the discipline and the future of sustainability. It took me to reading things about the UN, and their commission on sustainable development. Took me to reading all these different places about NASA and everything. And I'm thinking, wow, there's so much wealth of information out there, but it's not readily available for us. At least it hasn't been brought to the point where we, as do-it-yourselfers, we as people can actually use it for ourselves. What can we do again? So I started looking at my home. What can I do in my home with my family to make the world a better place? So I looked at energy and solar. So one of the different things that has come up in the last few years is that the innovations and the enhancements of solar have advanced enormously, and the prices have gone at the same time. So anyone here have solar panels? Early adopters? Great, good job. So this one here, do I have this here? Okay, no, it doesn't work. Okay. So the first image there is a solar panel. The second image, let's call it 2.0 solar panels. Those are what Tesla and Elon Musk have made. So the fancy version, the designer version of solar panels now. So this is how, in a very small schematic, how it looks like in your house if you haven't seen it before. You can have it on a field, you can have it in a garage, on top of your garage, and then the tiles you can now lay across your roof line, right? And have solar panels there. So I know here in the Netherlands, there's some certain monumental homes that are protected. Guess what? With these new tiles, these protected homes that weren't allowed to have PVs or solar panels before are now allowed to because of this new technology and because of the Generation 2. So in the research, and especially as a do-it-yourselfer, you're always looking at the cost, right? How much time is it going to cost, and what's your break-even points? So what I've looked at is that I'll have this box available for all the different slides that I'll talk about today. So estimated cost from 1 to 10,000 euros. Here we're talking about Western Europe. These are the costs here. And it all depends on how many solar panels you use. Plain and simple. Installation time, depending on, again, how many solar panels you have, as quick as 2 hours, or within 1 day, you can have your whole roof line done. I was quite surprised when I read that. As a do-it-yourselfer, things take sometimes days and weeks, right? But within a day, you can have your whole roof line solar paneled or tiled really quick. Sometimes with professional help, of course. But what's interesting as well is that the off-grid movement or the independent living movement also talks about living independently without having to pay your monthly bills. 2 to 7 years is your break-even points. The investment that you've put in to your solar panels, within 2 to 7 years, again, the number of solar panels that you have, you get all that money back. So that's your break-even points. What happens after 7 years? You still have your solar panels, they're guaranteed for 25 years. You gain money. Thank you, participation. High five. Yeah, then it's just plus points, guys. You're just earning money back. Really interesting stuff to know, especially if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you want to improve things not only in your home, but also with the world. Let me show you some more examples. Energy from wind. If you stepped outside today, there's a whole bunch of wind out there, right? But here in the Netherlands, we have a really long tradition, hundreds of years of having energy coming from windmills, right? This is a familiar photo. The next one is the solar farms, or sorry, the wind farms. You find them offshore, you find them onshore, and these are the same concepts. So there's different ways to use wind power. So that should say e-wind. I don't know why it says e-solar, but okay. So e-wind, this is how it looks like in your house. You can have it again in your lawn, you can have it on top of your garage, but guess what? You can also put smaller turbines on top of your roof, together sometimes with your solar panels. Now, the Netherlands has something special. We have a lot of old houses, monumental houses that are already 2, 3, even 4 stories high. Why is that important? Because at 5 meters and at 10 meters, that's where the jet stream of wind is perfect and idyllic for wind power. Again, on our homes, the homes that we have now, we can put them on a roof line, and at the level and at the height they are, you have a 1 meter long stick from your roof, and that's all you need. You don't have to have this huge wind turbines. And again, this is kind of some really quick takeaways. Estimated cost, installation, break-even points, 2 to 5 years. So we've been looking up looking at wind, looking at the sun. Now let's look down. Under our feet, Mother Earth keeps us warm, keeps itself warm, right? And underneath, we have a lot of heat, geothermal heat. Anybody been close to a volcano? It's quite warm. Oh, okay, we do have some people been close to a volcano, nice. So this is how it looks like, right, guys? So putting pipes into the earth, whether it's under your garage or under your home, geothermal is a constant energy source for all of our heat and all of our cooling. So below, let's say 20 to 100 meters below us, there's a constant room temperature, let's call it, 12 to 15 degrees, constant. Winter, summer, doesn't matter, same temperature, 12 to 15 degrees. Now, here in the Netherlands, it can get quite cold. 0, sometimes minus 10, minus 15. Guess what? That's up here. Down below, 12 to 15 degrees. So the simple concept here is taking the warmth that's under our feet and bringing it up and being able to heat ourselves. Now, we switch to another season. We're in the summer now. Summer, well, it's never going to get 30 or 40 degrees here, let's be honest. But in some parts of the world, it gets quite warm. And in these other parts of the world, you want to have some cool wind coming in, or some cool temperatures coming in. So outside, 20, 30, 40 degrees. Down below, same 12 to 15 degrees. It's easy science. Estimated cost, it's a little bit more. You have to dig a big hole. eFits. Now, this is just fun. You know, you start researching all these kinds of things, and the algorithms behind Facebook or the algorithms behind YouTube takes you, on crazy paths sometimes. So eFit. I have a couple pictures here. They're from World War II. Is anyone here familiar with them? Or could anyone tell me why I put them up? Now, in one of the photos, there's a guy who's cranking something. What is he cranking? It's an old, sorry? Please, go ahead. Well, it's a generator of sorts. So you're cranking energy. Why? Because he wanted to hear the news on the radio. He's making his own power. What's the other guy doing on the bike? Reading a newspaper, right. In the dark, and he has a light behind him. He's peddling his own power. Now, this is now 70 years ago. The new eFits, I call it fitness, are the new bicycles. You have a billionaire Indian American who's now investing on this new generation of power that you can use the simple motion of your bicycle. Now, here in the Netherlands, you might have a dynamo or a solenoid that kind of creates light, energy. So imagine that, right? You put it in front of your tire, you pedal, you get light. Now, supersize that to the next level, and then the next level, version 2, version 3. Then you have a big bicycle in your home where it can create energy for yourself, added to your own grid. That's amazing, right? And then let's think about version 5, version 6. What's happening then? Who likes working out? Come on, flex for me. Yeah, hey. My wife loves to work out. You should see her biceps. She's turning as red as her sweater. All right, so I'm having fun and I'm teasing my wife just because I can. And that's one of the great things here. You know, if you wanted to get back at your ex-girlfriend or your ex-boyfriend or your enemies, this is the spot to do it, right? But I'm not gonna go there, Okay, so I digress like I usually do. I talk too much. But what I was trying to say is that for the people who work out, who's done a spinning course? Now, think about spinning. You have about 20, 30, 50 bicycles creating energy. What does your gym become then? A power plant. Interesting, right? Again, we're here to think new, brave world, right? So this is the game changer here, guys. Some of us might, who are 40 and older like myself, might remember the Energizer Bunny, right? Energizer, this is the little battery that everybody has. The other picture that I have here is of a long cycle battery. So you see it sometimes in cars or big rigs, but also in boats. You have long cycle batteries. The new version, let's say the version 3.3, is the Tesla Powerwall. Now this is something, and I'm showing you kind of a progression on everything that I'm talking about, right? Past, present, future. Because this is something that we can use for our homes. There's a lot of solar and wind that's quite intermittent, so sometimes it's not so sunny, it's a bit cloudy, sometimes it's not so windy. So these are things that are very important to be able to control and to have stable if you want to have it for your own home, living off-grid. So the battery pack is exactly what you need for that. Whether it's the old school batteries or the new school Tesla batteries, that's something that actually, with this combination, you're living off the grid. It's amazing stuff. And because they're small, they're about 1 meter size, you can put them anywhere around your house. And they're not that expensive. The long cycle batteries, you have about 200 euros each one. You have a set of 6, you're set. You want to go for the fancy stuff, the Tesla, then that's setting you back close to 6,000, almost 8,000. And installation is really quick. Now, I'm saying that I want to fix and save the world. It's not gonna be easy, but what I've seen and what I've shared with you guys right now is a very simple solution, a solution that I call an eHome, an energy home. A home that is environmentally efficiently powered. Something that you and I and everyone around the world could do. It's not complicated, guys. There's a lot of stuff out there at our fingertips right now. It's maybe a question of money. I know not everyone has money, and it is let's say, it's not necessarily a business plan. You're not going to make a lot of money off of this kind of stuff. But it's a value judgment, and this is where I want to take you guys to. An eHome brings me back to saving Mother Earth, where in different languages, and in some of my native languages, it's Tonantzin, Pachamama, Madre Tierra. Mother Earth is very, very important, guys. And the E in eHome can be the E for equilibrium. It can be finding that long-lost equilibrium that we've lost with our Earth. E for earning. Stop paying bills. Have your bills pay you. E, estates. Planning for your children's inheritance. Is there anybody close to retirement? I'm sure you're thinking about it. No. Everybody here is in their 20s. Economy. E for a new industry, a new technology, new jobs, and new business. This is what we see in solar. And E for energy, getting off non-renewable and polluting energy sources. And at the end, eulogy. What are you going to do when you're in your deathbed and you're ready to pass away? What eulogy, what message are you going to leave for your kids? Now, just like you run a marathon, guys, how do you win one? One step at a time. How are we going to save our planet? One home at a time. Thank you.